Heyo everybody, Haku here with my review for One Piece anime episode 832. A day behind on the schedule, but I'm trying to stick to it despite all the struggles I'm having. So let's talk about 832. It was kind of weird in a way that, I brought it up last week, I believe, where it was like, we have had really, really good One Piece, and then right here when we're getting to the wedding, when we're getting to the big stuff, the actual climax happening, the stuff we've been building up to, it takes this drop in quality. It might be because they're ending old shows and starting new ones, and it could be something on Toei's production side, but it just seems like the oddest place to start to roll back on how well the production is going. Or maybe it's purposeful. Maybe they have a really good build-up, and they're like, even if the climax isn't that great, people have come in because of the good build-up and they'll stick through with it. I'm not sure, but either way, let's talk about it part by part. The recap was twice as long as things have been lately. Lately, we've been getting a 1-minute recap after the opening. This was a little over 2 minutes long, I believe, the recap this week. Luffy isn't waking up, and Jinbei's trying to wake him up at the beginning. The first few minutes where we're having a lot of Sanji and Pudding, and then cutting to some other things, but it's mostly Sanji and Pudding going back and forth. It's a little drawn out, whatever. One Piece does that very often in order to not catch up to the manga as quickly. I would rather they do in-canon filler scenes than draw things out like that, but it is what it is. But the biggest problem is the animation for it was very, very lazy. Lots of still frames, lots of just... You could see the jumping between frames, really. And it wasn't necessarily used in a comedic manner. It was just really lazy and bad looking. So I'm not sure. And like I said, things are drawn out, and I'm not complaining too much, but they went a little far, I think, this episode. Things were kind of ridiculously drawn out. Then we get an insert song with Struthen. The insert song was pretty good, not bad. The visuals weren't good, but the song itself wasn't bad. It isn't as good as some of the ones we've had previously, though. I thought the last insert song was quite good. In the original one with Big Mom, when we're first getting introduced to her, those are two good ones right off the top of my head. The Big Mom pirates are, we cut to all them saying in their head, oh, this is what's going to happen, this is what we're going to do. So it's basically showing that all of them are ready for the plan to unfold. We get to see Reiju's thoughts as well. And basically just showing that Reiju can tell that they're like, oh yeah, I know this plan's going on, and I can tell because they're all sitting around us, we're all trapped in the middle with no weapons by ourselves, all that kind of thing. Goldie and Vito prepare the KX launchers. Luffy wakes up and then has to go and start running to where he needs to go, but Jinbei starts carrying him. We have the wedding vows for Sanji and Pudding, and then the part of this episode that redeems basically all the bad stuff and puts it at kind of an even field. The flashbacks for Pudding were way, way better than I remember them being in the manga. Because I remember in the manga I was like, I still don't like Pudding. Even though I'm finding out this, I still don't like her. But this really made me feel legitimately sympathetic towards her. The flashbacks were really, really good of everybody thinking that Pudding is creepy and all that. She collapses, which lines right up with the future that Katakuri saw. All of those were really good, much better than I remember. Katakuri then sees that Sanji will dodge the priest's bullets, tries to hit him with one of those jelly beans himself, but Sanji dodges, so he hits the priest. And the priest, again, after being shot in the head by the jelly bean, fires off his gun, and Katakuri says, I've seen it, but there's something coming that I can't stop. I can't stop them. Then we have Luffy busting out of the cake with all the clones of themselves. And again, the animation was extremely, extremely lazy. It was like a bunch of still framed PNG images over just this cake backdrop. It's like a little thing where there's nothing where I'm like, oh, completely overhaul everything you've done, but it's just like the little things are done so with such mediocrity. that it makes the overall thing seem less good because every little thing is just done on the basest, cheapest level. So yeah, the animation was really lazy. Also at the end, is that a new OST? I don't believe I've heard that one before. At least it didn't sound familiar. So yeah, thoughts for the episode as a whole. It is really, really weird that they waited until the wedding to have everything go down in quality. Don't really get it. The production quality's way down. The pacing was hit and miss. There were some parts that I'm like, oh, well, at least we're getting through the wedding vows. At least we got that. But at the same time, there were some really, really drawn out conversations. Tons of still frames, tons of lazy animation all through the episode, but like I said, mostly in those first few minutes. And the last few minutes. The first few and last few minutes had most of the bad animation. But yeah, the flashback was great though. The flashback definitely makes me bump up the score quite a bit. Just because not only did the flashback look good, the animation wasn't like super amazing, but it definitely wasn't bad at all, at least by One Piece standards. So it was good looking, and it really made me feel for the character. I thought it was really good. So I would give it 6.5 wedding cakes out of 10. A little bit over average, just because I think the flashback scenes are really worth watching because they're that good. But yeah, that's about it. Not too much else to discuss, because not too much happened. The pacing was... yeah, I guess we'll see what happens going forward. Hopefully they can bring it back, because One Piece was so good week in and week out for like a long while, a good 2 or 3 months there, where every single episode I was just like, wow, this is very good quality for One Piece. And now I still don't think we're back down. Like these past 2 episodes that haven't been as good, they're still not at the quality that most of Dressrosa was at. They aren't that low. But yeah, the quality is noticeably down in the past few weeks. But maybe it's because they're restructuring things for the new shows starting, and after that maybe everything will be back to normal and they can start bumping up the quality again. We'll see what happens in the coming weeks. So either way, I hope you enjoyed the video. Like if you did like the video, comment down there, tell me what you thought of this episode, what you thought of my thoughts on it. Subscribe for more One Piece, both anime and manga, much more on the channel. Follow on Twitter if you want. I can try to keep you updated there and stuff for the channel. Or if you want a link to our Discord server to talk with me or more of us there, just ask and I can give you a link to that. So that's it. Thank you once again for watching, and I'll see you all next time.